And welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Eras mod. Last time around we dealt with the Hanoverians up here and they're now our vassal. Today we're gonna, for the first time, deal with the Austrians. The Austrians, of course, I don't know if it was the Austrians or the Prussians who declared war on each other, but the Germans have been fighting each other instead of fighting me, which has saved me a lot of just, you know, being able to focus on other things. So we've completely pacified the Spanish Peninsula and stuff like that. But now, finally, we come to the point where it's time to deal with the Austrians. Well, technically it is not the first time, as we out-resolved the Battle of Milan, but this will be the first battle that we actually fight. I'm gonna move up the Dutch army, so not that Napoleon needs it, and now the bastard stands in Napoleon's way. We're gonna attack the smaller force so that I avoid fighting at the fort that's in this region. The enemy start with a mere 400 men, and then they're gonna have 3,000 coming in as reinforcements. Napoleon start with 3,500 men, bringing in almost as much in reinforcements of Fusiliers. Not much to say here, so let's head straight into battle, shall we? It's a pretty small battlefield, and we will most likely come under artillery fire right from the start. Now, I have deployed my artillery. We've got two nice 12-pounder, and we've got the Imperial Guard artillery right next to it, so we will try and subdue the enemy guns. As per the map, the enemy reinforcements should be coming in on this side, so I deployed the Guard Brigade to move through there, and then this kind of hodgepodge brigade of all kinds of units will be advancing on this side to subdue the smaller force here. With that said, let's go ahead and start. And yes, the enemy reinforcements come in just where we expect. Our light troops will start their advance, and then it will follow by 5 battalions of Old Guard. And then we also have the cuirassiers moving on that side. Since our guns just fired, I'm gonna tell them to hold fire just so my troops have time to pass. The enemy starts to move their guns right at the start here. Or looks like they're deploying them again. They undeploy them and then deploy them again. So we are about to receive some fire. However, it looks like they're aiming across the town towards the Guard Brigade instead, as that moves forward over here. All the horsemen are now all over the place. I guess the church tower is in the way, and they're not interested in firing at that, which saves this brigade as that advances. And I think our guns should be safe to open fire again. Or I'm sure the guns maybe know better when they are ready to fire above our own infantry. Start to pummel the Austrians once more. I moved the Guard Brigade here to intercept most of the enemy army, but it looks like a lot of them are, of course, going here to join with the rest of them. We'll be moving up the Dragoons on this side. We've got Napoleon in the center with his Mamluks to protect him. This brigade continues to advance. And we keep advancing here. Are we now receiving fire, or is that friendly fire? No, this must be enemy fire, which is now starting to come in at us. We have now advanced close enough that we're right on top of the enemy artillery. We've got a mounted Jaeger unit moving up. I'm hoping here they cannot, in fact, fire from horseback. The rest will advance as we're about to meet some of the enemy troops coming up here at the same time. Dragoons coming around, and I reorganized this brigade a little bit. They got sort of chewed up a little bit by artillery fire, and then also some impossible terrain in the middle here that kind of broke it up. As there's a lot of guns situated down here, and the heavy cavalry will easily be destroyed by them, I'm holding them back for now. They will be moved forward later as the attack commences more vigorously. At this point the guns are kind of more or less destroyed, so we will go ahead and move them forward and see if we can't start to fire on this. We've got the Hollandaise veteran grenadiers. Got a lot of troops around the artillery position. I feel though that they're not really putting down a lot of fire on us, especially the militia and so on. So I feel like we could probably move up quite a bit to get some really effective fire down upon them. And as of yet, the enemy, because they've placed their infantry in front of the cannon, there's no real risk that the enemy will start to shoot us with canister. Let's go ahead and draw the guns up. This looks to be a pretty easy battle, which it usually is when it's such when it's a battle where the enemy is getting reinforced, because it takes so long time for the troops to get in there, and especially since it was kind of a small battle. I don't know why they specifically targeted Mattia and his battalion. Seems like they just targeted him with all their artillery. They've got defenses, so maybe it's not that surprising that they're holding on quite a bit here. They've got grenadiers and stuff coming in. The bad thing, of course, for the Austrians here is we got kind of a choke point where impossible terrain and a high hill on this side, and then a town on that side, meaning they'll come in through here. And the AI will just continuously funnel troops into that, and I can easily go ahead and create a half circle to concentrate fire right down on here. And as they keep pouring men into this area of complete disaster, which is now about to get completely overrun by the dragoons, my troops here will move in and destroy any reinforcements they bring up. So here we go. Oh, it's actually the Lancers. It's Jipilu and the 1st Lancers that are now coming in. I'll order the men to hold fire and to start advance. As the Lancers go in and start to break down the enemy, especially those bloody rifles. Caused quite a bit of damage, but not that much. Oh yeah, the difficulty here is that this terrain feature that the enemy has built there is of course set up to kill horses. Right, let's order the men once again to hold position here as the enemy grenadiers are now setting up to shoot at us. And the Lancers will be ordered back, and they will be ready themselves to go around. At the same time, the light infantry has now crested the hill, and they will now move forward to deal with the enemy. The old guard will be situated on the back here,
At this point, we'll order up the heavy cavalry to go ahead and start to swing in. My artillery, I don't really want to deploy my artillery until they're plenty enough within range of all of these guns, which they soon are. It doesn't really give me a clear target for these as of yet, but the range is supposed to be plenty here. I figure once I get up onto the ridge here, we can set up the fire. Right, so we've got perfect setup here, firing onto the enemy. They're setting up some of the German line infantry to set up more on the high ground, while the Grenadiers kind of get to hold the center on their own. Against 5 of our own, the focus is in fire. I'm going to order these guys to hold fire and then reselect then towards the Germans on the hill. Alright, let's see. The lights are up and should be starting shooting here. Got 2 Germans coming in. You know what? I'm going to be sending up the old guard to be dealing with those guys there. And then I'll just order the lights to shift a little bit towards this side. And then, you know what, the guard will continue over here. And we'll see about blocking the enemy from even coming into the field. There's a lot of troops retreating here. I don't want them to go back into the fort and us having to actually fight the fort battle to dislodge them from that. So I'm going to move troops over there. And I'm going to order in the Lancers now to chase down a lot of these troops here. Alright, the lights have set up, starting to fire. The old guard is moving in column to move up on this side together now with the heavy cavalry, which is coming in. At this point, safe, I think, for Napoleon and the Mamluks to move up. We're not going to get hit by artillery fire. I think we can plenty enough move up the flankers and set up here. Let's see about pushing through and aiding these 2 battalions by coming up the rear of the enemy. Same time, I think we already need to form into line here. As the heavy cavalry will swing around, situate themselves out here. Lancers out here chasing down troops. Be chasing down these guys as well. Oh, we're about to meet really close with the Grenadiers here. Could actually be receiving friendly fire from the rest of the brigade. This didn't work well in the last battle we fought, so it might not work well here either. But I'm gonna try again, just because. This time we heavily outnumber the enemy. So you would think it would work quite a bit better. But yeah, not a great success. Definitely broke them faster than if we had stood back here shooting at them. But yeah, definitely higher losses. Napoleon's here to inspire his troops. Oh yeah, completely forgot to order these guys to fire at will. That would be great advantage to actually have your troops firing. Right, the guns are ready. Make sure that this one doesn't continue to fight. And, we'll move something like that with the troops.
Sir, our general is under attack.
I highly doubt that. There's very little done around here. But, I mean, they're being held in place, so the lights are being able to do their work. Quite heavy losses on the 2nd Battalion there. Not a super good position to hold. The enemy is coming closer to us though, so that's perfect. We'll get better position. Artillery shots are landing close to here. Right. Let's go ahead and punch through with the heavy cavalry. And then order the guard forward at the same time. So it's German line infantry. They've already taken a few hits. As the guard advances. Alright, now they're starting to switch position. That's the perfect time to strike with the cavalry. And then we've got Draghi Chen coming in, taking out the 2nd unit. The brigade is coming into play, so now these guys are getting attacked from both sides. I will advance these to get a better angle on the enemy. Plus they're already kind of breaking there. The old guard will swing in. Right, the first one. The 5th has brought down the enemy. As they move forward here, slaughtering them as they go, they will turn and aid the 1st heavies. Right, go after these. Make sure that they don't get away. And looks like a pretty comfortable victory right now. The heavy cavalry will continue through and get rid of all the enemy's artillery. Let's see what the enemy cavalry does. Are they going to attack us, or are they just going to leave the field? At this point, given the losses for the Austrians, if I was them, I'd probably try and leave the field and just go directly to the fort instead. Shouldn't have left it in the first place, I gather. Heavy fighting as the heavy cavalry fights each other down here. Artillery is silent, but that's because they're got friendly troops right in front of them. The thing is, the AI was moving them over here, but I got close enough here that they could aim at me, and that's why they deployed the guns here. Which wasn't that great, but I don't think there's a way to... let's make sure that that one doesn't get away. You, of course, make sure that those guys don't get away. And it's pretty safe to say that we are victorious. The enemy general just broke. The cavalry is just about to take out their guns. I deployed these, but I don't think they have been... I don't know where they've been firing. Oh, they've been firing... I just noticed that the cannon shots are landing over here. Luckily for me, I don't seem to have done a lot of friendly fires, which you would otherwise imagine I'd do, given that I had the cannons recklessly just firing into all of this. You should probably swing up there to get a better position to fire on these. The heavy cavalry is done with their job. The lancers are done with there, and the enemy is now surrounded. And I am pretty confident in declaring this a victory.
As previously stated, a very comfortable victory for Napoleon, deploying about 6,000 men in total against 3,000 Austrians. Only 700 remain going into that fortress, and we've got plenty of reserves to draw on. When it comes to the highest kills, we've got the first Lancers chasing down tons of enemy troops, 439 to be precise. Followed by the first Cuirassiers, and you can read on to see where all of the different troops are and their numbers. Wonderful. Napoleon continues then. He attacks the fort, and I'd say it's a quite comfortable out-result. Out-results are never comfortable. I managed to lose 1,000 men taking the fort. I think, though, this region has a resupply depot, so that I should have... oh, it doesn't. It has a small arms factory instead. We got Kutuzov with a single unit of hussars following. Is there any special troops? We can have 5
of these militiamen recruited. And they're really cheap, so yes, we will have tons of those just to defend the pass. The Dutch general will continue and just hound these guys to destruction. He loses 840 men against 65. Now, they had guns, but still. God damn it. He did get steady under fire, which, yes, I'm sure he was steady under fire, given there must have been quite a bit of fire coming down upon him. Unfortunately, the resupply... Usually there's a resupply depot, isn't there? The resupply rate is not as great as I thought. With that, though, there's no more moves to make, and what I can see for the future, then, is probably either an attack from the Mecklenburgers, or I attack them as I get movement points. But the great start to this episode by capturing a territory. How convenient! I don't have to go to the Mecklenburgians. They come to me. And so, we fight. And so, the battle is underway. We had some initial skirmishes with the enemy. They tested our defense in this area, sending forwards 2 regiments, as you can see. They are now swept away. I also had to compel the enemy to attack me, since they had set up their 12-pounder guns far out of my range. My cavalry took care of that. I didn't send enough cavalry in the first go. I just sent my dragoons. That was not enough, so the hussars was ordered in. But finally, the guns fell silent, and now the enemy is advancing towards our position. The position is on this high ground overlooking, as you can see, a big field here, and then sort of a bit of rolling small hills on this side. We are holding a factory, or some kind of warehouse over there, an old ruin, and then yet another sort of factory or warehouse over here. 4-pounder on this hill, 6-pounder in the middle of this line, and 4-pounder up here. Here's the Fusiliers. This side is the Grenadiers. We've got lights set up in the woods. Should probably actually move closer here. And then Grenadiers, of course, back on the hill. I put Youngbun and his lights in this house. I thought it would give him more cover. Clearly not, as it... Damn, I should have looked at the building beforehand. There is no cover whatsoever if you stand in these windows. So unfortunately there for the 9th, that was not a great position to hold. But you live, you learn. The other houses should have provided more cover. Yeah, these guys are covered quite well. I mean, this one is basically... there's nothing really to cover the soldier. That's an awful building. So shame we put them there. And there's no way they would have been successful in holding that area. I'm gonna be moving over to the Grenadiers to deal with these guys. And then we got the major advance over here. I've got a reserve unit. I'm thinking I can get him to go through here and pop up in the side of these as they basically march into my prepared killing ground. In hindsight, I should have put the 9th here. I put the only named unit of the lights, put in that one, because I thought that one was going to be the one where they're going to kind of move around that and they'd be shooting at all sides constantly, you know, killing enemies. Instead, that was the worst one and the name unit got smashed. Are you guys even firing? Seemingly not. Now, this is not all from this one unit. I replaced the 2 units, so these guys have been on this position. And then I just switched position of these 2. I'm hoping here they're not trying to storm the building. Doesn't look like it. Hussars will be ordered in to deal with that. Oh, these guys even... Oh, wait, you know what? The 9th is not done. You know, he's pissed off. The Koreans are back in the fight. Right. You need to come up right here and set up to shoot these guys in the back. I do have my heavy dragoons, the 8th heavy dragoons. There's a lot of lights and crap moving here. We could organize the troops around here. The enemy is really just drawing straight into probably the worst area for them to attack. Let's deal with these guys with a bit of canister. As that's going on, I want this unit to run up to the walls and start providing fire this way. It's a risk, of course, if the enemy start to trade fire with the buildings, that will lose a lot of men. The 4-pounder should definitely be firing on the Grenadiers and not the others. Why there's a single unit here, and I've got like so many trained on him. They continuously just going this way. The Grenadiers will come down like this. We'll move the 9th and have them join the fight right there. The enemy was crushed, and hopefully you will set up to make sure that no one else comes in. Now you will fire a round shot straight up through here. We have lost quite a lot of Grenadiers here, actually. The lights will take a more aggressive approach here. Ah, Fusiliers brought down around the house here. The enemy is getting very close to this area, so we'll fire canister. You will... this house is now getting abandoned. Or not abandoned, but it's getting surrounded. That's what I should be saying. Okay, the enemy is kinda close enough for canister work. Oh, they're charging in. The enemy lights are trying to gain access. Currently, they're being held back by a single soldier on the steps there. Perfect canister targets. If you could organize yourself, that would be great. You're setting up there. Nice, nice. Let's make sure that not too many of these guys get back to the town. I feel like Dragoons probably have a pretty good target here. Even though it's coming at the enemy straight on. 2 Grenadiers will then focus on this guy over here. With the lights moving out ahead that way. Yeah, there's no way they're taking the fort. Or the fortified ruin. The enemy just inspired his troops. See how well that goes for him. We're losing a lot of men in this unit right here. Get behind the wall instead. Take protection behind the wall. Nope, that did not work. Rather than chasing this one, just hang around in the back. Dragoons going through, getting all of these guys. You will hold fire, or actually pick targets over there. You will also pick targets over there. And you will switch to round shot and pick target over there as well. You're firing this way. Finally, we got rid of those. Let's follow after them. Dragoons dealing with all the retreating light troops. I think it's safe to say now we have won the battle. But I will yet to declare victory because there's a little bit more to clear up. The general is now tangling with the dragoons. Very tired, but confident in victory, as they should be. Okay, the lights are right ahead of us, within actual effective canister range. Feel like there's... they probably need to move over a few guys over to that side. Let's have the hussars go in after that unit. And I will just hold fire with the cannons on the hill as we're ending up shooting on our own, most likely. Right, the hussars going in over there, dragoons chasing down these fools, making sure that they do not go anywhere. And the general, once again, looking to tangle with some of my cavalry. My very experienced hussars. Don't think he has much of a chance there. And once more, he realizes he's taken on more than what he can handle. I'm more interested in making sure that these guys don't get away. And these ones over here. And the musketeers over here. Right, two pretty comfortable victories in both these battles. But as we progress further into the heart of Europe, we'll be seeing a lot more resistance. We are victorious over the invading forces of the Mecklenburg army. They deployed about 3,000 men, and we deployed about 3,000 men. They ended up losing 2,200, and we lost 1,000. So a third of our force still fell during the battle. The enemy remains 666 troops left. A sign, perhaps? While we remain at 2,000 men after the battle. Highest kills goes to the Hussars Dragoons, no surprise there, followed by the 6-pounders. And then we got the 84E, killing 157, Chasseur à pied, 4-pounder, and then another Chasseur, so these are the two that probably hold the houses. And as we go down, unfortunately for the 9th, should have scouted that house before I put them in there. They ended up losing 64, killing 30. However, even with that high loss, they did in fact rally and stay to the end of the battle. Great victory here, and the territory should fall back in our hands as soon as it's back to my turn. Got enemy raid up in the Tiroler region. Not entirely sure where they went, but there we go. Technological advance! Steam locomotive. Enemy raid. Troops recruited, some of the Landwehr in the Tiroler region. More of the Polish army being recruited through Paris. And then Fencibles in Gibraltar. I'm thinking I'm gonna portion these out to the ports, making sure that they stay open. And then Court of Appeal in Provence. Let's go ahead and see if we can't. Yes. Pretty comfortable out-resolve, I'd say. Possibly a little bit risky. But unusually well fought out-resolve. I lost 400 men roughly against their almost 1,200. Wonderful. And the region is back under our control. With the heavy fighting though, it's going to take a little bit of a while before... What's all of this mess? Oh yeah, I'm portioning out militia units to these ports as well, to protect the different ports I have, or the ports that I feel needing extra protection. So I'm going to be sending out a lot of these militia units to the different ports. The ones here in Spain are going to be manned by the British Fencibles that I've been able to recruit. We can recruit 2 more. And there's a port up here. And I guess we'll put one there. So all the ports in this region will be just... just the... what's it called? Just the British Fencibles. I do have 2 more ports here that need protecting. And this one right here needs protecting just because it currently has a regular Fusilier, which is, it's a lot cheaper just to send militiamen to deal with that. And then that one there. And then you will head to this one, which is under our control, and you will head to this one, leaving very few militia and troops to actually hold down this area. But I already have a load of troops, so I should be fine. Davout continues his march. It's a shame there isn't actually a road going through here, and the only road through is that way. But he will arrive. This force is soon ready to move. I don't know why the Austrians haven't built up anything in Venice. Actually, you know what? there's nothing really stopping me from going all the way over here. Yeah, they have basically nothing. I could be pushing potentially too hard here if there's a major Austrian counterattack, but most of their troops are up here against the border with the Prussians. Kutuzov, I guess, is hiding somewhere here. Don't know where. What I'll do is, I think we've got better replenishment rate down here than up in the mountains. So I'll take Napoleon's army and I'll bring them down here. It's no difference. We'll keep the what's it called? The Dutch general, and soon enough all these militia units in there, and then the spy will be heading to Prague to take a look at what's going on there. Probably should repair the fort as well. The forces here. Oh yeah, I moved you back. Or no, I wasn't able to move you, that's what. Now you need to move in and get the same kind of replenishment. I feel this one I probably need a little bit more before I strike. Or do I? I could lay the siege now. Stop them from recruiting any more troops to defending their town. Oh no, they actually have. They're already almost building up a new force to be sending away. Right. We'll hold off on that then. I also noticed this. The Dutch loaded up a force. I don't know who they are fighting. They are fighting no one currently. Maybe then, since they have a force on the way, I should pay them to declare war on one of my enemies, and then that force that is currently on the way could be landed at that location. Why don't I have the Dutch declare war on maybe the Swedes? They could land there, deal with them, or preemptive attack on Denmark before I have to move up into Denmark, and then I don't have to even go up into that stupid appendix of Germany, and I can focus in on... I think though at this point soon enough I'll have to declare war on Germany just because, or Germany or Prussia, just because it's kind of stupid right now that they're not at war with me. Also because I need this area right here so that I can set up trade with Oldenburg and the Hanoverians, which would be great. However, with all of that said, there isn't really anything more for me to do. As of yet, none of the fleet of the ships have come out, and I even forgot to post anything about it, but there we go. Oh yeah, before we end here, I just want to make sure that we actually start recruiting all these new Italian troops. Get some Italian brigades going. Loads of Fusiliers here. Don't think I even need them here. They can be moved forward with the rest of the armies. And as a final thought here, I know there's a lot of people have been asking for 40 stack armies. I'm thinking, as we close in towards the more of the end of the campaign, since 40 stacks is enabled through you edit a save file, I don't think you have to do it on. You have to technically do it on your the first one. So I could technically enable this sort of halfway through the campaign, I think. So as we progress towards the end of it, I think I could go ahead and bring in the 40 stacks, even though it has the problem of, you know, the graphics on the units. When I have tried to frame the battle shots, that becomes wonky. But I think we've had plenty enough of different views of the different battlefields, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. You get more broader overviews of the post-battle views. With that said, we were able to capture a lot of recapture and capture a lot of territory during this episode. And on that note, we will end the episode. So I will say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.